Hello, good day. In this session, we talk about claims. We've been trying to summarize claims in FIDIC Red Book only, FIDIC Red Book 1999. There are 44 types of claims. Here we can see each reference of the subclause regarding to claims, both by the contractors and the employers' entitlement. As we can see in subclause 1.9 regarding constructions, delay, drawings, or instructions. In this case, as you all can see clearly here, the contractor is entitled to claim for an EOT, cost and reasonable profit, if an engineer fails to instruct within the notified reasonable time. So in subclause 1.9, it's very clear if you as an employer or your engineer is late in notifying a drawings or instructions, it results in the entitlement to a contractor for claims for an extension of time, cost, and reasonable profit. Next, in subclause 2.1 regarding right of access to the site, if you as an engineer or employer late to give right access to the contractor, it gives rise to an entitlement to contractors for an yacht, cost, and reasonable profit as well. And then subclause 2.5 regarding employees' claim. As you can see here, this clause details procedure with which employer must follow when claiming payment from the contractor and when claiming for an extension of time to the defects notification period. So it provides the entitlement of employers. And then regarding the setting out, it's provided by subclause 4.7. In this case, contractor is entitled to claim for an yacht, cost, and reasonable profit for an errors in original setting out points and levels of reference. So if you work for an employer or an engineer or an agent of an employer, they be very careful about this subclause of setting out. And then subclause 4.12 regarding unforeseeable physical condition. In this case, contractor is entitled to an yacht, cost, and reasonable profit as well, if this unforeseeable physical condition occurs. And then subclause 4.19 regarding electricity, water, and gas use. In this case, employee is entitled to payment from the contractor if the contractor uses power, water, and other services provided by the employer, as referred to in under subclause 2.5. And then subclause 4.20, this again relates to employer's entitlement. This regarding employer's equipment and free issue materials. If the contractor use the employer's equipment, so the employer is entitled to a payment from the contractor. Next, regarding fossils, as provided by subclause 4.24, as you can see here, the entitlement of contractor, same like above. And then regarding testing as provided by subclause 7.4, it gives entitlement to contractor as well. And then subclause 7.5 regarding rejections, this gives entitlement to the employer if the plans, materials, or workmanship is rejected and subsequently retested. And then subclause 7.6 regarding remedial work, it gives rise to employees' entitlement as well for failure by the contractor to carry out remedial work. And then extension time for completion as provided by subclause 8.4, it gives rise to contractor's claim for an extent of time if completion is or will be delayed. And subclause 8.5 regarding delays caused by authorities, it gives rise to an entitlement to the contractor as well. Then the progress is provided by subclause 8.6. It gives rise to employees' entitlement, as you can read yourself here. Then subclause 8.7 delay damages here as well. Then subclause 8.9 consequences of suspension. It gives rise to NEO for contractor if the engineer suspended work. Very clear. If a contractor fails to pass the test on completion, as provided by subclause 9.4, it gives rise to an entitlement to an employer. And then subclause 10.2 regarding taking over of part of the work, it can give rise to entitlement to contractor as well as the employer's entitlement. And then subclause 10.3, interference with test and completion, it gives rise to an entitlement to the contractor for an yield, cost, and reasonable profit if an employer delays a test and completion. And then regarding extension of defects notification period as provided by subclause 11.3, it gives rise to entitlement to an employer, as you can read here. And then subclause 11.4, failure to remedy defect, it gives rise to entitlement to employer as well. So if you instruct a contractor to conduct research as provided by subclause 11.8 here, contractor to research, it gives entitlement to a contractor for a cost. And then subclause 12.3, evaluation, and then subclause 12.4, omissions of the work. In this case, contractor is entitled to claim for a cost which, although it had been included in a bill of quantity item, the contractor will not recover because the item was for work which has been omitted by valuation. So in other words, contractor is entitled to payment of the cost for this commission. And then value engineering is provided by subclause 13.2. It gives rise to contractors entitlement as well. And then variation procedure as provided by subclause 13.3. And then adjustment for changes in legislation as provided by subclause 13.7. Both contractor and employer have entitlement to a claim. As you can read here, it's very clear and self-explanatory. And then claims regarding schedule of payments as provided by subclause 14.4. And then subclause 14.8 regarding delay payment. Subclause 15.3 regarding valuation of date of termination is entitled the contractor for work, goods, and contractors documents valued after the employer has terminated the contract. And then payment for after termination as provided by subclause 15.4. Very clear. Employer is entitled to claim for losses and damages after terminating the contract. And then subclause 16.1, contractor's entitlement to suspend work. In this case, contractor is entitled to claim for an extension of time, cost, and reasonable profit if engineer fails to certify or if employer fails to pay amounts certified or fails to evidence his financial arrangements and contractor suspends work. And then regarding payment on termination as provided by subclause 16.4, it gives entitlement to contractors as well. And then regarding indemnities as provided by subclause 17.1, it gives rise to entitlement both to contractor and employer. And then subclause 17.4 regarding consequences of employee's risk. In this case, contractor is entitled to claim for unused cost and in some cases reasonable profit as well if work, goods, or contractor's documents are damaged by an employee's risk as listed in subclause 17.3 above. And then general requirements for insurance as provided by subclause 18.1. You can see both contractor and employer have entitlement to claims. And then subclause 18.4 regarding insurance for work and contractor's equipment. This gives rise to entitlement for employer to claim for payment or reduction in cost of premiums if the contractor's insurance of employee's risk becomes unavailable at commercially reasonable terms. This, I think, very self-explanatory. And then regarding force majeure as provided by subclause 19.4, consequences of force majeure. It gives rise to contractor to claim for unused and some cases cost if force majeure prevents the contractor from performing obligation. Then subclause 19.6 deals with optional payment, termination, and release. And then subclause 20.1 deals with contractor claims. It deals with procedure with which the contractor must comply when claiming. That's it. There are 44 types of claims as provided by FIDIC Red Book 19. I hope to see you again in the next session. Good day.